Hey guys, this is Pranay. So I'm making this video to explain how I went about setting up this arm. But before going ahead, I want to make it clear that I'm not taking credit for setting up the rig this way. I mean, we were taught about this kind of setup when we were working in Voodoo, and it was taught to us by Matt Derksen, who was a rigging supervisor in Rhythm and Use. So I was just trying to implement the same rig setup in Maya. So let me quickly go ahead and move this arm ahead. So now you can see these locators. So these are the position locators. These are tracking the position, and these locators define the raised pose of the rig. And I'm also feeding these locators are feeding into the offset parent matrix of each and every joint. They are also feeding into the bind pre matrix of the screen cluster, and they are also feeding into the offset parent matrix of the fall off nodes, which are here. So with this setup, you can change the joint position anytime while your rig is in pose. So you can see that my rig is in pose now, but suppose in this pose I feel like my elbow position is not correct, and if I want to change it, I just have to move the locator for the elbow, and you can see the joint is moving. Let me make the joint visible. Yeah, so you can see the joint is changing its position, and the deformation is also updating with it, and that's because of the fall off nodes. And if you want to see how to set up this fall off nodes, then Mathias Røyrvik has published some good videos. I also watched those videos to learn how to use these fall off nodes in Maya 2022, because these are the new features. And if I pronounced your surname incorrectly, Matthias, then I'm really sorry. Uh, so let me open the node editor and show you the graph. Later in the video, I'm also going to show you how to set it up on a very single basic joint chain. So this is just my arm setup. So as you can see, this is a thumb 2PN, which is this one. So this one is going into the offset parametrics of the fall off node. This fall off node. So when this moves, the joint also moves, that you can see here. And because the fall off node is moving with it, it is changing the skin weighting. This kind of setup is really very helpful when you're making a feast pose. This is just a lifesaver. So now if I feel like, it's obvious that the wrist is not looking good. So now what you can do is you can just change the orientation of your joints, and the feast pose will update with it with your joint changes. And then you can set the orientation of each finger joint in such a way that you get a nice feast pose. Setting up these locators is pretty straightforward, but the only thing is, right now, if you are just controlling one object with the offset parent matrix, then it's a very straightforward process. But if you are feeding the offset parent matrix into an object which is parented under some other object, then it becomes a bit tricky. I'll show you how to do it, and later in the video I also have some suggestion for Autodesk developers. I think it can be simplified. I mean, I was trying to do it in my C++ node, and if you want to see all the benefits of setting up the rig this way, then you can see this video that I had published in 2018. Back then we didn't have the offset parametrics, so I ended up writing my own C++ node to do the stuff that offset parametric is doing now in a newer version of Maya. So there I've talked in detail about what are the benefits of setting up the rig this way. So let me show you on a very simple joint chain how to set this up.